I've been pursuing a directing career for a while. I directed a short film not too long ago, well, a couple years ago. That we did, we showed it here too in New York at ABFF. But I've been wanting to direct. TV One saw my short. They gave me this opportunity. Thank you, Angela, at TV One. And this story is was a powerful story. When I read it, it touched me because I felt like a lot of people judge young girls, you know. Like people are so quick to judge the Felicias of the world, but so slow to encourage and inspire them to take a different direction in life. And so for me, I felt like maybe we could, you know, do some good by showing this story, but also hoping to get empathy and sympathy and compassion from people. You know, when you think about young girls like Felicia, I could have been a Felicia, you know, but thank God, by the grace of God, I ended up here, coming from Camden, New Jersey, growing up, you know, in an urban community, single mother, you know, strip club, all that. But Felicia ended up in jail for the rest of her life. So hopefully we can save some young girls and inspire some parents and community to just pay a little more attention.
In the beginning, prior to shooting this movie, when I got the script and I was called into audition, I was very fearful of taking on the role because I was afraid that I'd be seen differently. And I've never wanted to expose my body to the public at all. That's why I don't do it in my music or anything like that. But then I took counsel from my dad. We had a conversation and I was like, you know, I don't know. I spoke to him and my stepmom together at home and I'm like, I don't know, you know. And my dad is like, look, if you want to be taken serious as an actor, you have to go outside of yourself. That's what actors do. You can't say you don't want to be looked at as something outside of yourself because how can you play other characters? You'd be playing yourself your entire life if you bored. And so I took on that challenge because I understood where he was coming from. And I was like, wow, I want to act, you know? So I got over my fear in that way because I knew that I had support from the only parent that I had left. He was the only person that I felt, whether he said yes or no, would matter, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, once I got on set with Tasha, she was just like, you know, in acting, you don't judge your character. Because if you judge your character, you won't allow yourself to be vulnerable. You won't allow yourself to be in the character and become that person. You know, there was that. And then there was also this energy of feeling like, you know, through a character like this, I could minister to young women. I could become someone. I could become someone's experience because this is based on a true story where someone can look at it and say, wow, you understand and you know, when this part happened to you, when that part happened to you in a movie, I can relate to that. Whether it's firsthand or it happened to a parent or it happened to a friend, you know. I knew that would come with it, but all of those things happened slowly. It was a slow process. As I took to the faith and I jumped off the cliff, as Tasha would say, as I jumped off the cliff and just went for it, all of those things started opening up. And performing with such an attractive young man such as Lance, I thought that was the brilliance in him being casted. Because a lot of times people see a film where a villain is casted, and when the villain is casted, he usually this nasty-looking dirtbag, and people be like, I don't know why she listening to him. Oh man, I would have been got out of here. You know what I mean? And they make it be easier for the audience to see it as, you know, she could have walked away quickly. You know, but for those of you who watch the film, which everyone in the room today has, you see that, you know, in the beginning, it is slow, it's romantic. It's like, wow, this person, you know, my body, you know, this person is feeling me, you know, and they give you the energy that you probably never gotten before. And in this case, Felicia she didn't have her father present in the household. So when a man is giving you that much attention, and then on top of that, you're a young mom, and they're coming in to take care of your child that already exists, you know, you don't see what they're doing as wrong when the abuse starts, because it can start mentally and then physically, as we experienced here tonight. And I thought it was very important to cast someone that was attractive. Yeah.
Well, when I first read the script, what I found intriguing about Stacey was that she's complex. She had layers, but I had to give her those, you know. But so I had to make her familiar in a way that everyone could relate to her.
Oh, thank you. That's my daughter, who had on headphones and did not see her
my 2 children, I have 2 daughters, I'm very hands-on, I'm very present and available. I am their sole form of counsel. So for me, I had to completely disconnect and forget about Tami and how I actually parent and become, you know, Stacey, who I do want to say, I think that Stacey loved Felicia in her own way. She's representative of what is happening in society today. A lot of young girls having babies. Now you have to make a decision for someone else's life. You don't really know what's happening with your own. And so that was her challenge at a time when she was looking for something that she wasn't really capable of giving, which was love. And so I wanted to be able to paint that picture authentically and genuinely. And so every day I came and said, you know, I see Mama and I start off the day like, hey, you had a good night? And then I'd be like, don't look at me, don't talk to me, you know, so I had to give her some of those, and then by the end of the night we were, you know, back
Cool again.
again. But, you know, she started off the film and in her life, period, as a work in progress, and then she ends up progress at work, because now she's involved. I think people are familiar with my story from, you know, my day job. You know, everyone knows I've been very vocal about it, you know, being married to my ex-husband. It was a very dysfunctional, tumultuous, and abusive relationship, you know, and it started much like that, very romantic, very Prince Charming, sweetie on my feet type of situation, and then it became, I don't want you to act. Why can't you just stay home? Why can't you just travel with me? Then it was like, let's have a baby, because now, you know, you're completely, you know, at my, you know, disposal, you know, and then it's like, you don't need to work, you know, stay home, you know, so it was a lot of that, and then when I succumbed to that, it had to progress. He had to keep controlling, he had to keep trying to be possessive of me, and so then it became physical. So I've been that person. I think that, you know, I grew up in a household where I always wanted to have a family. I always wanted to have that picket fence, so to speak. So I stayed in that relationship for 7 years. And it wasn't until, you know, one day we had an altercation and my oldest daughter, Lyric, witnessed it. And I said, you know what, this is not what I'm trying to do. Because I am trying to raise young, responsible women who have self-esteem, who love themselves more than any situation they're put in. And I had to walk away. So I have been Felicia, but I just made the decision to leave the detrimental situation.
For one, like I shared earlier, I think that it helped me grow. It helped me stretch as an artist, as an actor. To be fearful of something before I step into something, and to judge something before I step into it, and then to take counsel from people who have had great success, like Tasha Smith and my dad, and to go outside of what I'm used to, you know, same thing as stretch. I'm dragging it. But, you know, to do that, I think that's where my growth came in, because I got a chance to see myself do something that I've never done. And I also got the opportunity to help change lives. I have a sister that's 12 years old. I have a sister that just turned 15 years old. And this story takes place when Felicia was 16 years old. And she served a 3-count life sentence in prison by the age of 19 years old. So, this story is so powerful. And I think that stepping into it, I didn't understand how important the role of actually doing a film like this would play in my life. But the more and more I watch it, the more we tour, the more I see, the more it opens up to me, and the more I understand my purpose in doing it. So that's the way I feel I've grown from it. Also, in doing this character, I feel myself to be a very strong person. I'm heavy on communication. I'm open on communication. When I go into something with someone, I always have someone that I talk to and let them know what's going on. And, you know, I feel like with Felicia, she was alone. She didn't have anyone to kind of go on that journey with her. And she was very vulnerable. And there was a weakness, right? And I had to find where where I'm parallel with that character. And what I found is that while I see myself as being this very strong person, right, where I see myself as being this confident person, there's this weak element that we all have, right? Because our strength and our confidence comes in hindsight. That's when we have 20/20 vision. I was saying, you know, it's like, you know, being on your job and you might be in an argument, somebody say something slick like, yeah, and you da-da-da, and then you come back like, But then you get home later and be like, yo, and I should have said it last week. And wasn't you the same one? You need to watch, you know what I mean? You got so much to say because it's like, afterwards you're thinking of, your strength kicks in. Your wisdom, like everything just starts to kick in. The way you see things, the way you see yourself as being a strong person. But in that moment, right, a lot of times we're vulnerable and we're weak. And people say things to us that hurt us in the moment. People do things to us and we don't come back as forceful, as strong as we would want to, especially in a domestic violence relationship. And so I had to allow myself to be completely vulnerable. There were times when I, like, in the scene when I got fucked, I really got fucked. And I wasn't expecting that. Shut up, it's not fucking fun. So I wasn't expecting that. So I had to stay in character. I had more lines to recite. So I had to now recite these lines like, well, what I'm gonna do about the baby, like, you know. And I got a chance to really feel it's not funny. Because I got a chance to really experience what somebody feels when they look at I get it's funny, but it's not funny.
But you know what? It's not funny. It's not funny.
Because I experienced something as an actor that people experience in real life. And when I look back at the character I played, I'm rooting for her, like, do something, say something. But I had to stick to the script as an actor and tell the story the way it happened. And that's what matters. That's the important part. To show women whose experiences who's experiencing things like these in secret, to expose it so that they can see themselves and reflect and make adjustments and to prevent young women from having to go through situations like this. Right. So it was a sacrifice, and I'm glad I did it.
Well, one, I'm an acting teacher. You guys know T-Saul, Tasha's been acting workshop. But all I can do is what I do, and that's I'm a teacher, I'm an actor, I'm a motivator, I'm a visionary, and all I can do is trust the moment. And because both of them are my friends and colleagues, we have great relationships with one another. I worked with Tami as an actor before, through teaching and coaching her, and it was me knowing that they were willing to go wherever they needed to go for the characters. And they trusted me to help push them to the place that they needed to go. You know, I mean, I just thank God really for T-Saul for teaching all of these years, because I knew how to communicate with them and their instrument in order for them to be able to do the things that they did in this movie. But I gotta say, give it up for Lil Mama again. See how she was more than perfect. I mean, she was the perfect choice for this role. And and Tami Roman, I mean, come on, like, Stacey, I mean, Stacey was a very complicated character. And what I loved about Tami is that she came in as the actor. She didn't care what she had to do. She stripped down, no makeup. Most people don't want to do that all the time. You know, actors like a lash or something, you know. She didn't care. She wanted to be as authentic and as honest physically and emotionally as as she needed to be in order to tell the story of Stacey. And I'm very proud of both of you, and I'm very grateful and honored that I got a chance. Monday, August 28th, turn to your neighbors and tell them all the August 28th, on TV1. You guys please help us support this great story.
I got it. Thank you. I know you work for the box. Ladies, one more.
One more, right here. Touch up on that. Let's do it, guys. Straight ahead. Beautiful, guys.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.